And here we go. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of the Motley Stew Show, where I go over the last week and see what the world has served up for us in terms of news, stories, and other fun stuff. Let's see what's on the menu this week. Not bad, you think? So in the appetizer this week, we have a show named Ruby, and it's an anime that was created by Rooster Teeth. And the reason why this is actually really interesting this week is because Ruby will become the first US created anime to be exported to Japan, where anime was created. So this is the first time that it's actually gone in the other direction. Obviously, the US has imported a number of animes and created US versions of them or just shown them here in the US. But now we're actually exporting anime to them, which is kind of mind-blowing to me. Ruby is about 4 young girls who are in high school and they have to learn to become monster slayers and legends in that field while also not killing each other and graduating. That was exactly like my high school. If you've never checked out Ruby, I will have links below to the show. But I want to congratulate Rooster Teeth on such an amazing feat. And I want to congratulate Monty Alm, the creator of the show. Moving on to the salad this week, something that's good for us. Everyone has seen the Ice Bucket Challenge by now. And a lot of people have been tagged for it, and it's really awesome. It has raised millions upon millions of dollars for ALS, which is awesome. But now we're seeing a lot of other charities and a lot of other foundations are hoping to kind of get in on the Bucket Challenge. All the hype that's been surrounding it, get some of that money, get some of that attention to their causes as well. I've seen friends who have done the Bucket Challenge and then donated their money to Relay for Life, done the Bucket Challenge and donated to other foundations. So this week, what we have is Orlando Jones, who decided to put his own spin on the Bucket Challenge. What he did was, instead of dumping a bucket of ice water over his head, he dumped a bucket full of bullet casings. The point that he was trying to make was everything that's going on in Ferguson is not just localized to Ferguson. There is violence and gun violence all over the world, and he wants to bring his attention to that. But what I found really interesting about this is he's not bringing the attention to that by coming from kind of an anti-gun perspective. He's a lifelong member of the NRA, and he's a special officer with his local police force. He wants to challenge himself and other people to actually look at the news, especially what's going on down in Ferguson, and be able to look at it in a factual perspective without any sort of bias from either your race or your situation or your class. Now, if that's not hard enough for all of you out there to do, you have to imagine coming from Orlando's perspective, where one of the reasons why he is a lifelong NRA member is his dad used to own a gun. And the reason his dad owned a gun is because crosses were burned on his lawn as a child. So the gun was to protect their family, which is really one of the biggest reasons why to have a gun is protection. So I applaud Orlando Jones, I applaud his sincerity, and good luck to him to bring more attention to a cause that really is universal. Now that brings us to the drinks this week. And of course, as usual, it's stupid people. Now, I don't know where everyone falls out there on the abortion issue, whether it's pro-choice or anti-abortion, but the anti-abortion groups out there, some of them, have said that they don't support the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Not because they have a problem with Lou Gehrig's disease. What they have a problem with is the research that is done for things like Lou Gehrig's disease, and Parkinson's is often tracked back to stem cell research. And they believe those stem cells come from aborted fetuses, so they can't support any disease that could be cured by something like that. Now again, I'm not making a judgment either way on the issue of abortion itself, but what I can say is that the idea of being able to heal somebody else from a choice that maybe you didn't agree with in the first place, but still taking that bad choice and turning it into a good choice, I don't really see the problem with that. If you read the article that I linked to below, you'll also find out that this anti-abortion group does not seem to have a problem with tear gas, which has been used against protesters, used against students, used against people all over the world, and is currently listed as an abortifacient, which means it can actually cause miscarriages and injuries to pregnant women specific to the birth of their child. So, don't pick and choose when you're going to say what you do support and don't support because it has some sort of connection with abortion. You gotta kind of keep the line. Moving on to the main course, and I don't know if you guys are tired of it now, but still, the main course this week is really still what's going on in Ferguson. This week, what I want to talk about is not what was happening in the riots, because actually those have gotten a little better. Not totally better, but a little better. But where the blame is now being issued. Now, everyone wants to talk about that this is a racist case because it was a white cop and a black victim. But what it's blown up into, and really what's going on there, is not just about Michael Brown anymore. Is blown up into the idea of police brutality and the long-standing situation down in Ferguson and a lot of other cities, where the power is all situated in one group or class, and the majority of the people who are not in that class are victims to that power. So that's really where the things are going on down there. But then you've got people who are opposed to, say, the president or Eric Holder, the attorney general, and they're trying to shift all their blame to them. saying Obama somehow helped cause this to happen because he's helped divide this country into white and black, which is utter. And with Eric Holder going down there, his opponents are saying he can't possibly be fair in this situation. Now, I'm not sure why they don't think he can be fair. He is the attorney general. But if it's because he's black and he can't possibly be fair in a white on black case, then really you're the one who's racist because you're making an immediate judgment just based on his skin color, not on his skill set. But yeah, we also have to agree that it has been a really tough month for the president. He was taking his yearly vacation out to Martha's Vineyard, but a lot of shit's gone down since then. You had stuff going on in Ferguson, you had ISIS going on, you had the beheading of an American journalist. That's a lot of stuff to go on during a vacation. But let's be honest, no matter what time you take a vacation, there's going to be crap going on in the world. And the president is never going to have a time where he can say, well, everything is cool now, I'm going to take a break, bring me a tequila. It's never going to happen. But President Obama's opponents who were yelling at him for being on vacation, period, saying that he's taken too many vacation days, really ought to check their history books. Which I love the fact that we have the internet now. We can bring up these facts really quickly. So if we want to look at this chart, check this out. At this point in his tenure, President Bush had taken way more days off, way more vacation days than Obama has up to this point. In fact, he'd taken off over a whole year. That's right. As his 8 years as president, he actually spent less than 7 of those in the White House, actually being president. And I didn't hear any cries from that crowd about how often Bush was leaving to go to his ranch or wherever. So again, just like the anti-abortion crowd, if you're going to have a problem with something, make sure you have a problem with it all the time and not just pick and choose the people you don't like doing what you do like doing when it's not the people you don't like. And yet there are other people who are saying that President Obama fanned the flames down in Ferguson by actually making a statement about it. And again, that's patently ridiculous. What kind of president would sit there when his city, one of his cities, has turned into an urban warfare that looks like something out of Call of Duty? Of course he's going to make a statement. He's going to have to say something about it. Now, yes, he could have just come out and said, I want everyone to be calm and we'll figure out what happened. But he had to point out certain fears and certain anger that was going on in that community. If he ignored it, he would have been hit just as hard from everyone else. So again, let's be honest, in the minds of these people, there really was no right thing for him to say, if anything at all. Now, sliding our way into dessert, here's something that I've been waiting to chew on and eat for such a long time. And it's really maddening because I can't right now because I don't have cable. The Doctor Who is starting again tonight. The new season, Peter Capaldi premiering as the Doctor. It's Doctor number, 12 and a half if you talk to certain people. And it's really exciting. Little tidbit about Peter Capaldi. He's actually been in Doctor Who before. He played the father of a family living in Pompeii early in the reign of David Tennant playing the Doctor. When he went back and he was forced to make a choice about saving people from the volcano that was going to destroy the city of Pompeii, it was Peter Capaldi's family that he ended up saving. So for the true Whovians out there, yes, in a certain way, the Doctor did save himself. Kind of selfish. But he's not the only Doctor who's also been in the show before. David Tennant had a brief voice cameo in the animated Scream of the Shalka episode. You won't really find him in the credits because technically he was listed as Town Person's number 2. So for the charity this week, I want to point out hrc.org. This is the Human Rights Campaign. I've donated to them for many years, and I really think they're a great group. They're at the forefront of the LGBT movement, and especially at the gay marriage rights movement. Now, again, I'm not sure what your opinions are about that, but mine, very much pro-gay rights. But also, HRC just isn't about gay rights. They're about human rights. So they look into all sorts of issues going on across the world. They look into immigration, hate crimes of all types, and any persecution that is happening for or by people and their religious beliefs. This group is really all about total equality, hence their logo, which is an equal sign, which when I had it on my car, by the way, somebody came up and asked me if it was some sort of nautical symbol. I told them, yes, I am a sailor on the ocean of life. They walked away from me. And lastly, for something to chew on, this is a story that was also widely reported about an Italian restaurant in Taipei that had a dish called Long Live Nazi Spaghetti. That's right, you heard me, Nazi spaghetti. Now, the owner of the restaurant said this was actually in regards to the German sausage that was in there, and he was trying to point that out. But let's be honest, you could point out German sausage by saying, I don't know, spaghetti with German sausage, and not Nazi spaghetti. I don't know if I'd be more offended by the title of the dish or the fact that it probably did not show up in some sort of saucy swastika. Now, after the internet-wide backlash, they did change the name, but they changed it to World's Greatest, where when you connect that back to what it used to be, it still kind of tastes a bit funky. So that leaves me with my question for you guys. Could there possibly be something that you could put on a dish that could be more culturally and racially offensive? So thanks for watching episode 3. Please like, subscribe, favorite, and comment below. Hope you like the taste. And as usual, here's your little bit of Logan.
Logan, do you want to blow on Daddy's belly? Look. Come on. Come here. Let's blow. Here. Mama, do it. Can you do it? Blow on his belly. Can you do it again? Blow.
Peter Capaldi's family that he ended up saving. So for the true Whovians out there, yes, in a certain way, the Doctor did save himself. Kind of selfish. But he's not the only Doctor who's also been in the show before.